Hello and welcome to the Just Mates podcast, where we aim to destigmatise men not speaking up about mental health. Remember to follow our social pages on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Just Mates Pod. You can listen to and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor and Apple Podcast. All links are provided in the description. In today's episode, we discuss confidence, things that make us confident, things that people may overlook about guys, like potentially doing things for themselves, but it looks like they're doing it for others. But yeah, you're joined here today by myself, Nafees, and...
Yes.
So yeah, let's get cracking.
Well, I don't think you mentioned like what destroys confidence as well.
Yeah, confidence it can be kind of subjective, can't it?
What do you mean?
In terms of what we think is confidence and what you might think is confidence, kind of thing. Like, what do you see as confidence?
Difficult question, really. Just feeling it within yourself, being like, I guess, willing to step forward and do something without fear.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of the same as me. It's like being like clear-headed and having a vision and being able to kind of do what needs to be done and having faith in yourself.
That's it.
So I guess that kind of defines confidence. But there's certain things as guys, especially, that kind of gives us that confidence to have faith. And I guess I kind of just wanted to discuss a few things and kind of talk about what actually makes us feel confident personally.
Okay. Go for it. Shoot.
So I had a conversation with someone recently and we were talking about haircuts. So obviously with COVID, the barbers were on and off and the hairdressers weren't open, etc. And I guess for guys, like it's quite common for us to get haircuts like once a week or twice a week. Like I know people that did it like every Thursday, for instance. And I guess when you look at them people, you think, oh, why are they wasting money? Or others think this. But in my head, I'm thinking like, that's kind of like what makes you kind of feel confident to do something and to feel better about yourself. And in regards to haircut, I know that when I get a haircut, it's not for anyone else. It's genuinely so that I feel refreshed. I feel a lot lighter. I feel like I can achieve something. I don't know. It sounds silly to say, but it just gives you that little kind of self-esteem boost.
I was going to say that exact thing. It's a self-esteem thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's like wearing a new outfit. Like, you go out wearing a new outfit, and as much as you're looking nice for other people, but it's also to feel like you're like rejuvenated and like looking fresh, kind of thing. And it does give you that confidence to feel happy.
I'm one of those people that probably gets his hair cut. I don't know. Well, now even I have a haircut like during lockdown, but like once in like two or 3 months. But I've always been like that. I always get my haircut at least once a month or like once every other month. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you've got the hair that can kind of grow out though.
Yeah,
don't
well,
you?
it grows really slowly. It's like the weirdest hair. But I often find whenever I'm stepping out the barbers and stuff, it's just like, oh my God, thank God. All that weight is gone from my head. That rug on my head is gone.
Exactly. And don't you feel like it? I know it might sound like over-exaggerating, but you feel like a new person, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I think if you think your hair looks scruffy or like you're insecure about your hair, it's like you're probably going to fear that there's going to be some criticism or like people's perceptions of you.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
And then that kind of becomes doing it for how others see you. But in terms of like doing it for yourself, I know that if I could, I'd get a haircut like every 4 days because my hair grows rapidly quick. I've got really thick hair. But I know that would just make me feel so much better. And that's just one example of like one thing, I guess, in terms of appearance that makes me feel confident.
The other things, appearance, I guess, in just working out and stuff, keeping on top of things.
Guess working out, but that's kind of still like that's not something everyone really sees. Like, you know, like if you have like a strong stomach or like a pulsating chest, like not everyone's going to see that, but you kind of do that for yourself, don't you, to feel better. But I guess in terms of appearance, for me, it's like, you know, when you order new clothes and you just can't wait to wear them because you just want to feel like fresh and new and like you've made an effort, and that just kind of gives you like a boost in your like day-to-day activities. Like, yeah, I'm wearing these like new jeans or whatever, and it just gives you the confidence that you probably might not have had if you was just wearing joggers or something. So I guess with appearance, I guess clothes, like I do take pride in how I dress and stuff, and that gives me the confidence I need.
I'm a little bit different in that sense.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I think if I feel comfortable in my clothes, and like it's borderline, I don't look like a knob, then, or a cheapskate, you know what I mean? Like, then I'm fine. Yeah. Like, I had this thing when I was growing up, and probably around sixth form era where I was like trying to figure out what clothes look best to kind of make other people like maybe look at me or like not think of me in a way that I didn't want them to. And then when I was at uni, I did it even more so, probably like first year, second year. And then when I graduated, I was like, screw it. I just wear the bloody Pikachu t-shirt. I don't give a shit anymore, and I'm happy.
But I guess that's a really good stance to take on it. Is I think confidence can also come from comfortability. So if, for example, like with the haircut thing, someone could be really comfortable having like a scruffy beard, and it might just be their look, and they don't really care about what other people think, and that's their form of confidence. Like, yeah, I've got this nice ruggedy beard, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, this is how I want you to see me. So I guess it is kind of about comfortability. Like, I guess, especially with nice clothes, sometimes, I can't wait to take my jeans off kind of thing. And especially during lockdown, I mean, I was wearing jeans every day for work prior to lockdown. But then it came to lockdown and I'm not going anywhere. So why am I dressing like nicer? And I just got comfortable in wearing joggers and stuff. And I was happy going out in joggers. And I guess it made me feel comfortable and confident still, because I grew that confidence in me. But I guess like when you're used to wearing jeans and stuff and just getting a new pair, it just makes you feel fresher.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know if you can, you can't relate to this now, but like maybe from like a third party sense you can, but I haven't drunk in 6 months. No,
you haven't?
Like five or six. I think it's about 5 months, to be fair to myself, probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, probably about 5 months, I'd say. Yeah. And like, yeah, 4.5. Let's go 4.5, because I have a feeling that I like accidentally had like a small drink, but like I haven't been drunk in 6 months. Like,
and how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I'm not a heavy drinker anyway. You know me, at all. But my confidence and my energy, mate, just skyrockets. Like, and I didn't even drink that much previously. Rarely did. Like maybe drunk once a month, once every 2 months. But like even just knocking it out, your energy, your testosterone, your confidence just goes wham.
I mean, I have noticed, especially since lockdown kind of time with you. I mean, like you got back onto your fitness, you lost a load of weight and stuff. And I guess with alcohol, I can't relate, but I do know that people like that like fitness tend to drink as well, and that kind of that hinders their progress. So maybe you made a lot quicker progress because you weren't drinking.
When I was losing weight, I was a little bit, but nothing like extreme. But like I'm just talking about in terms of just overall energy, mate, like, and confidence. You get rid of that. Like, honestly, alcohol is 99% of my problems, and it always has been. You get rid of that, everything is good. So
yeah, that's something hopefully people can relate to, and maybe if they're feeling not so confident or comfortable, they can think about dropping that, and that might make them feel a little better.
So much freaking. I know this is going off the. Actually, no, it's not going off topic at all. It's
not really. It's kind of
don't spend money on alcohol. Like you save a lot of money, and you have more money to spend on other things. And like that makes you feel good.
Yeah, definitely. And this is kind of the kind of stance I wanted to take on this episode, was kind of like a feel good vibe, things that make us feel good that maybe others can relate to and maybe others didn't think of and can kind of go in that direction. So what other kind of things, whether it be gaming or films or a genre of film or anything, like what kind of things kind of make you feel like, yeah, I can smash this job today?
Well, I think just stress reduction in general, just keeping your stress levels down, because I know when I'm stressed, like really, really stressed, I just shrink. Like,
Yeah.
I think keeping yourself, on the line, not burning yourself out. If you're burnt out, you're fucked.
Yeah, you kind of then, I think in that feeling, you kind of second guess yourself with work or just anything generally. Like you kind of feel like, oh, can I really do this, or am I doing the right thing?
Exactly. And another point as well is don't go on social media as much. And there's this thing. What type of people do you follow on Instagram? No.
Do you know what? A lot of them recently have just become fitness and design pages, to be honest.
I don't know if there's more. I think we've spoken about this before, but if it's like more or less maybe. No, this definitely applies to men as well. If you're like following loads of fit people and stuff and people that have got it better than you, I think that can really demoralize you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why I just follow friends and maybe like meme accounts, and I think that's just done absolute wonders for me. Like I can follow the occasional person like Steve Cook, he's quite cool. But like, I just don't bother with people that are,
like influencers such, I guess, because like they all like wave around this kind of high almighty life, and you start to like naturally just compare yourself to them, and you think, oh, they're doing this, like I feel depressed, or I've woken up in Essex on a Monday morning and they're in Dubai, kind of thing. Whereas like that's not real life, really.
A little question came to my head earlier today about some people that were posting some things. It's like, if you were truly happy, would you be posting this? Like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I think we're kind of in the era of pics or it didn't happen kind of thing.
I
like,
agree.
Like if you look at someone's Snapchat, for instance, and they tend to post their activities or whatever, and then there comes a month where they've posted nothing, you might think in your head, well, I've been following you for this amount of time and you're not posting anything, so does that mean you're not doing anything? But that same person could literally be in the background having their best life, living their best life.
The thing is with like social media, like no one gives a shit as much as you. That's I mean that's what I follow, really. But yeah, that's just me.
I think people get invested a lot too much, don't they? And then it's like you compare yourself, like I said before, like you compare yourself to these other people, and then it knocks your confidence because you feel like, well, they're doing this and why aren't I?
Yeah, I spoke to a friend recently who I went to school with, and he's absolutely huge on TikTok. Like 500,000 followers, I think. And I was like, I was thinking, like, how does that affect your mind state? Because he quit his job because he's doing like sponsorships and stuff. And I was thinking, it's not sustainable. That really, like, it's not. It probably is. That's probably not the right word. It's not a lifeline. It's like it's not.
It's not a longevity kind of thing, is it?
That's what I was thinking. Like, how does that knock your self-confidence? It must be really hard. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, and I think like with that, especially this kind of goes on the topic of like celebrities as well, like, or even like C-list celebrities, like small time. But once you kind of build that appearance and perception up online where you've got a presence and people are following you, you can't be normal anymore. Like you just can't. And like there's people that are looking up to you, and naturally, without meaning to, you become kind of a role model for people, and it's like is that too much on your mind state? Like, am I doing too much kind of thing? Like, maybe your friend might be feeling stressed, like, oh, I haven't posted in a week. Will this mean that I'm not going to get this much money? Or like, am I not good enough kind of thing? And then you start to go in a downward spiral. Like, I remember seeing recently, or it might have been a couple of months ago, Billie Eilish, or Eyelash, whatever her name is. Billie Eilish went around, she was just wearing casual clothes, like a hoodie and leggings or whatever. And everyone was jumping on her, like, wow, like there was headlines in these like small time articles, like journalists saying, oh, Billie Eilish looking rough as ever during lockdown. Well, you know what I mean, Billie Eilish. Anyway, but they were kind of like, in a way, just knocking her confidence, because she's going to see all. I know you have to prepare yourself for that when you're in that kind of public eye, but people don't think about what they're saying online, especially.
Of course, because they don't have to confront the person in real life.
Yeah, exactly. And this might have to cut this out, but like the same with like your opinion on Facebook.
No, say it, mate. Keep it in. Say it. It's fine. I don't care.
So obviously, recently you made a Facebook post, which was fair to say you had your own opinion and you thought to put it out there, because I guess in that moment you was feeling kind of frustrated, or you wanted to get something off your chest, and that's exactly what social media is there for. Like, you vent out to people, and whether you get a response or not, you do. But you had a lot of negative feedback from that, and I feel kind of like that was very unjust. But I think you ended up deleting the post more or less, not because you felt like you was wrong in what you said, but because you just couldn't be bothered to listen to people kind of knock you down.
This is the thing, and I probably shouldn't tell people what I posted, but fuck it. I was basically talking about confidence in the workplace, right? Like working hard, and you.
This is kind of relevant to the topic as well.
You work hard, you understand how hierarchies work, and you work your way up. You get promoted, and you work and you earn money. Like a duh. Like it's like a duh, like post, but in a sense. And then I probably went off, which I shouldn't have, and I said like millionaires and billionaires, talking about that. So it was a very short post, and then at the end of it, I said like, this is my opinion, you can have yours. Basically, like the whole consensus of it was like, you're capable of amazing things, like sort of thing. And what it was more or less like putting my hand out there and just saying, you can do things, because I was seeing loads of posts about like, oh, billionaires should do this, or we can't do this, it's the system's flawed. It's like, it's not perfect, but like, you can still run the race, mate. And I was getting really frustrated, so I just thought, you know what, I don't do this type of thing, but screw it, I'm going to post it. So I posted it, and like, people just attacked me for no reason. And I'm not kidding. It knocked my confidence a bit, because I was starting to question myself. I was like, did I go too far? Like, you know me, Naf. I'm not racist. I'm not not sexist. I'm not anything like that.
No, but you hadn't even mentioned race. And like, when I came to you about it, when I spoke to you about it, and you were like, I'm really like happy that you've reacted this way and not that way, kind of thing. But I don't see where they were coming from. I think the people that responded in a negative way, okay, they're entitled to their opinion, fair enough, say your piece, whatever. But to then attack you for your own opinion and then having their own opinion is kind of hypocritical. Yeah,
I don't really want to say it in case the gent will probably listen to it, but I really freaking doubt he will. But like, there was some things where just saying, do you think this? Do you think that? And it's like, they try and lure you into questions to make you look like a bad person publicly. And it's like, so there's one of the things about like carbon emissions or something, like the top, I can't remember, maybe the top 100 companies cause 70% of the carbon emissions. And it's like, yeah, but mate, you're part of the problem. You're a consumer. If there was no consumer, there would be no demand. If there was no demand, there'd be no billionaires.
But that wasn't the base of your opinion, though.
And it's like, this is what I'm getting onto, mate. I probably should have said this before, but like, it's like I was defending myself even though I didn't put that argument out there. Like, and it's just like, this is the problem with people. They just try and label you as something because it's easy.
Yeah, and I think, as you said before, like when we were talking about like journalists saying stuff like, you don't have to confront the person, like that guy, whoever it was. It's not like he's going to be in person with you, having to kind of react with how you're kind of responding to him. So they're just keyboard
Yeah,
warriors.
that's the thing. And here's a funny thing, which I really learned is like, this is what my uncle said to me. So this is what Simon said to me. He just said, just be nice to them. Just be nice to them.
They hate that though. They
so like
hate
one of my old, I wouldn't call him a friend anymore. He's a bit of a dick, but like he commented saying, "This is stupid," like blah blah. And I was like, "Hi, nice to hear from you." And then he was nice to me after, because he didn't know what to say. So it's like,
yeah, and it's kind of like they're giving out bad energy, and you're not reciprocating that same energy. You're actually going on the other end of the spectrum, and they're like, well, what do I do now? Like, do I carry on being nasty, or do I be nice back? And it kind of sends them in like a little like a confused bubble. And then, do you know what? You did the right thing. Then you've actually kind of influenced them to kind of change their way.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I mean, like, I spent like an hour writing this response to this dude, because I just, I got angry and I wanted to shut him up, like, because he was just it sounded like he was just being like a little bit unfair. Not shut him up. I didn't want to censor him, like freedom of speech, all that jazz. But like, it kind of angered me how he took the time to try and publicly humiliate me. And it's just like, and I probably put some things in there which I shouldn't have, and then I posted it. And then, you know what? I gave it an hour or two and I was like, this is knocking my confidence. I literally said that to myself. This is knocking my confidence. I'm caring what people think when I really shouldn't. I'm spending too much energy on this when I could be using my like effort and energy somewhere else. I don't care how long I've taken to respond to him. He hasn't bothered. Other people are commenting and they're being rude. I had private messages from people being dicks. 20 people removed me, and I was just like, you know what? My job is done. I'm deleting it. Whatever. If he wants to talk to me,
yeah. And I think, sorry to cut in. Just like you just said though, like, you shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't feel like you can't have an opinion. And whether we hate it or not, like, for example, I know this is going to sound controversial, but maybe things that Piers Morgan has said, things that Katie Hopkins has said, things that Tommy Robinson has said. I'm just using these three as an example because they will be standoutish and people will know who they are. I'm just saying that I know I hate them. That's my opinion. Like, I can't stand them. Well, not all of them. Maybe Piers Morgan is kind of on a half-half thing. But they have their own opinions. Like, whether we like it or not, they can say what they like. They have a platform and they're using it for whatever they want. So what can I do? The worst thing I could do, or us that hate them or dislike these opinions, is give them energy. And I feel like that's what everyone does. They give them the energy they want and they continue, and they've still got the platform to grow because people are no publicity. Any publicity is good publicity, really, for them.
I was just thinking there on that basis, and like, I probably should have mentioned, like, the guy had some good points, right? He had some really good points, but just this whole entrapment thing, just like pulling you in and making you look bad, and it's like these people do this to publicly try and humiliate you, and
they want you to trip up. They want you to go off on a tangent and say something out of line, where obviously you're consumed in your emotions and you've lost confidence and you're just rambling on. And naturally you do that in an argument and you say things you don't mean. And that's what they want to do. They want to pick out on that one little thing that you've said and make you sound like the worst person in the world. And I feel like that's an insecurity in those people that cause that, because they're obviously looking for a reaction, and it's just not fair.
I mean, I'm glad I dealt with it the way I did. Could have been. I mean, there was one bit where I got really angry and I told a girl on the post to F off. But that was just me being, I felt like it was just out of order. And then they focus on that. So it's like, oh, you said this to me. It's like, yeah, but you're not looking at the reason why I said it. Because you're just being a knob and trying to make me look like a knob.
It's just, I think, especially with social media, it's so easy to take things out of context. Like, I could say I hate balloons, and somebody else could come and say, "Oh, well, balloons cause so much happiness. How can you hate balloons?" And then make me feel like the worst person in the world.
They ask questions where it's like, if you answer it in any way, you do.
Which is why I feel like, I think we as in our generation, or everyone actually, should feel have the power to just not react to things. And I think that's exactly what we should have done. And maybe it will, maybe looking back on that post that you made, maybe it was just better for you to not have responded to anyone and not given any energy out, and let people just ramble on the post and just see what happens. Like, maybe if you didn't say anything, there wouldn't have been you saying F off to anyone, or, you know what I mean? Like, just not giving that energy
Well, it
back.
worked out, to be honest, because I said in my post, like, you know, I'm probably going to get hate and unfriending for this. And I did. So mission accomplished. Like, look.
And it just filtered out the people that you don't need in your life.
Idiots, losers. Sorry, moving on.
Anyway, but I do feel like you're right in that way. And maybe if you're in that position where you've lack a bit of confidence, maybe just try and come away from social media, stop comparing yourself to others, and find something that you do yourself in your own time where no one is watching that can make you feel confident. I mean, is there anything in your own time that you do, maybe with, I don't know if you mind me mentioning, maybe if you with your partner, or like just generally anything, like, for example, this podcast or whatever it is there anything that makes you feel confident?
Just de-stress yourself, play games, not multiplayer, single player games. That's fun.
Yeah, what, on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It could be with people, or it could be by yourself. You don't know. Just depends.
But I guess, like, within games as well, and I know you're quite a competitive person, as am I. Well, probably very competitive you are. I'm guessing there's achievements that you've made on certain, and I know it probably sounds stupid to other people, but I guess a lot of, I'm not saying just guys, but a lot of guys are gamers and like to play in their free time, and people might think it's childish or what, but I think it's just a sense of achievement, like achieving like certain skills and stuff, and it makes you feel confident.
Yeah, well, I don't know, there's this thing, you know, like trophies and games and stuff. I love all that stuff, mate. I love that. I love all that shit. And I
and they're little, like, micro goals within the game, aren't they? Like, I need to get this kind of like AK-47 with this kit or whatever.
I thought, like, what did I do today? I got 1,000 GT in Cyberpunk, which is like platinum on PlayStation. I got that today, and then I was just like, okay, I'm done. That was fun. Just boosting my confidence, I guess. Like, I like those little adrenaline rushes of getting like trophies that mean absolutely nothing to anyone, even myself. But it's just like, oh, that was fun. I like doing that, working towards these things. It's cool.
Yeah, and like, you know, you just said that, like, you achieved that little trophy. That might have even like spurred your mood on for Monday to be like, yes, I've done this over the weekend. I'm ready to like kind of smash this week, kind of thing. And it just fuels your energy into more of a positive way.
Yeah, definitely.
Like for me, it was, I mention this all the time, but skipping. Like, when I started, it wasn't for anyone. I wasn't doing it for anyone. It was literally for myself, and it was a skill that I wanted to learn. I carried on, and I was so happy the first time that I did a double under. And to anyone else, that sounds like, what the hell was he talking about? Like, what was he doing? But to me, that was like amazing for me. Like, when I started it. And I was like, first I couldn't skip, and now I'm doing double unders and like shuffling and stuff. And now I feel so much more confident that if I was to skip in public, I'll be happy to do that.
That's good, man. I like that.
So, you know, it's just little things like that. And we always bang on about fitness and being outdoors, but especially, like, you know, me, I go for a walk every evening, and that kind of it re-energizes me of an evening, because I feel like I'm stepping out of these like four walls and I'm going out, I'm going for a walk, getting some fresh air, and I start to feel a bit more rejuvenated.
Walks definitely clear the head, I guess. They're really good at lunch breaks. I go for walks on lunch breaks at work, and I come back just a little bit rejuvenated. Showers are absolutely mental. I love showers. And
it's funny because I had the most amazing. It was nothing spectacular, but it was the most amazing shower on Friday. Because I basically worked out a little later than usual because I was working, and it was like an evening shower. And you know when you just walk out the shower and you feel like, it's like a massive sigh of relief. Like that was an amazing shower. And I just felt so fresh. Like it was unbelievable.
Told you.
So it just makes you feel like in a different kind of headspace, and it made me feel confident. Like I felt like my skin was glowing. This like I just felt good.
Like the way you say it.
I felt good. But yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of be a bit more positive today, talk about things that make us confident and stuff. Is there anything that you feel like we should avoid other than social media?
There's one thing that I think we should also do. I think planning things, like planning boosts confidence. Having like a structure, like a goal, like that definitely boosts confidence because you know where you're headed and you can see it, I guess.
Exactly. You know what? I'm the type of person that likes to know what's going on. So, for example, I was working just gone Thursday and Friday. I had in my head, like, I've got to get done by this time. I need to exercise at this time. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. And I made sure I stuck to them times. I'd done everything that I wanted to do. And if I hadn't had that plan, I probably would have like gone AWOL and maybe not completed the tasks for the work and stuff and not have been kind of in the right mindset. But you're right, like planning your day, knowing what's happening kind of gives you something to work towards.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know where you're headed. If you definitely want to get there and you're 100% committed, nothing's going to get in your way, and then you'll be more assured of yourself. It's like this whole thing with trying to be assertive, which comes with this experience, and it depends, I guess, on who you are, your personality, who you're with, and there's loads of dynamics, I guess. But like being assertive, I find is quite difficult. Because it's like the fine line between being assertive and being arrogant.
Yeah, I know, but there's some people that might come across arrogant, but that's just the way they are. Like I know there's a lot of people that might, like, you know, for example, you might have had this when you were younger, or like when you first like saw, okay, this is going to sound like a generalization, but like, you know, when you see certain girls and you think, oh, they look stuck up, but then you speak to them or whatever and they're the nicest person ever. Or even the same with guys, like they sound like dicks, but you actually speak to them and they're literally so nice. I think that perception, that arrogance, that word kind of, I don't know, there's so many ways that it can be misconstrued.
What arrogance?
Yeah, because I feel like, I don't know how to word it, but I don't think arrogance can always be negative. It kind of just means someone's like happy. I don't know. It's a hard one to explain.
I know what you're getting at.
I don't mean arrogance.
I know what you're getting at. Like I can see some arrogant people. Like sometimes they bring positivity to the room. It depends.
Yeah, like you kind of look at them and like, oh yeah, well they know what they're talking about, kind of thing.
You tend to follow. Like it depends who you are and like, again, the dynamics of the situation, but you can tend to follow arrogant people, especially if you're young, if you're a kid. Like you follow arrogant people because they look like they know what they want to do.
Yeah, and it might not always be the case, but I do think there's some sort of like lenience towards looking arrogance and actually being a positive thing.
Yeah, but being assertive is like that's.
Yeah, and I think, being decisive as well. Like I've struggled a lot over the years of making decisions and kind of saying like, yes, let's go here, or let's do this, or let's do that, because I kind of seek reassurance, and that's my form of confidence. Like I like it when people tell me, oh, like your work's good, or this is good, even though if I know it, I just need to kind of hear it. But I'm slowly growing towards the stage of feeling more confident with my own work and not needing that reassurance. And I think that's important. It's important to be confident with yourself and not seek other people to give you attention to gain that confidence.
Don't look for validation. Just
that's the word,
make a decision. Assert yourself. Aim high. Listen to people. Stay calm.
And that's brilliant as well. And the other thing I just want to mention is, don't be scared. If you feel confident about something and you think that, someone's going to say this, someone's going to say that, just don't think about that. Just do it for yourself. If you think you're doing something with the right intentions, just do it. Forget what anyone's going to say. Just have the confidence, have the faith in yourself. And regardless of people mocking you or criticizing you for it, you just get on with it and you'll notice a change in behavior.
Yeah, don't be a sheep.
Yeah, exactly. Just be yourself, really.
Yeah, beautiful. Cool.
So yeah, let's end it there then. Thanks again for listening, guys. It's episode 32. As we mentioned before, this is now going to kind of become a fortnightly thing or something where we'll just do as and when we can. Again, if there's any topics you guys want us to mention, or you think that we've mentioned something that you want to talk on a bit more, we're happy to get anyone on as well.
Yeah, we haven't had anybody on in a long time.
So there's a PT that kind of wants to jump on the podcast as well. I didn't mention it to you. One of my friends, James, he said he wants to talk about mental health himself, and basically at one stage in his life he competed for like a body show contest, like for fitness, and he was talking about nutrition and how he went on this like really strict diet, and he went into depression because he wasn't eating like nice foods, and he was like he told me that like it really kind of hit his mental health. And I think with when we got Ben on, we talked about self-harm. I think this will be another standpoint from fitness about how it affects your mental health if you do too much.
Interesting.
So that could be another one. So yeah, his name's James. I'll speak to him to see if he wants to get on, and maybe in the next few weeks we'll get him on.
Sounds good. I don't have anybody that I know that would come on at the moment, so that's a good sign.
No, that's okay. But yeah, I'll let you know if that's something you guys want to listen to. Let us know. But yeah, I think that's something we can all relate to, like something driving us into a bit of depression and doing something too much.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, this was episode 32 on confidence. I have been Nafees,
Sam.
and we will see you later.
Bye.